Self-Love, Self-Healing, a unique program that's specially designed for you to take care of your holistic health and total well-being. In short, heal yourself, love your life, now and forevermore.
Good morning, Malaysia. Once again, I'm Dr. Avnish Shukla. Welcome to Doria Nation. Hi, Shrab. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dr. Shukla.
Yes, good morning.
How is everybody?
Oh, great. Once again, we welcome you here on our show and self-love, self-healing. Shrab, remember last time we were willing to discuss further about the heart and homeopathy.
Yeah, the heart issues.
Yes.
How to heal it.
How to heal it. Because the topic was very warm and we wanted to illustrate more detail of it.
Yes.
And I think today, as we promised, so we will definitely tell the audience about further details and as like volume 2 of heart and homeopathy.
To continue that
Yes,
discussion.
to continue. Yeah. So last time, as we discussed a lot, that how do we evolve those conditions which later diagnosed as a cardiac problem or as a heart problem, and what are the fundamental cause behind this.
Yes.
And we were also talking a lot about that there is a lack of love and there is a lack of self-understanding, self-worth, self-healing,
Warm-heartedness.
All those things were there to contribute to the disease which comes as like a very violent type of conditions.
True.
Right?
I always talking about warm-heartedness. I always think about Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
He always talk about warm-heartedness.
Very good example.
He is a good example of a very warm-hearted figure.
Doubt. Yes,
politically
yes.
or spiritually. He is always very
around
joyful,
the world.
very expressive, very at ease, and easygoing.
Exactly.
Always have joke with other people. I think he's a good example of warm-heartedness. So when your heart is
living
warm
example.
and very joyful, very very creative kind of living their life.
Yes.
Very good life,
Yeah.
Good example of relaxation also as well.
Exactly.
Good to see and good to follow.
And,
yes. How about other figure that Dr. Suka you think we can follow besides Dalai Lama? Who else is you think is very relaxed and very easygoing?
Okay, I mean, it will be very subjective question, but even because some people, they connect to themselves from that figure, and you find that definitely matches to you or matches to the subject.
Yes.
And that's where we become more cautious about it, or maybe we are just follower of that. Right. But finding some authors, they have written a very transformative books and spread a lot of their information, which they have followed. And then practice, and then they become the exemplary, like a man of this Eckhart Tolle.
I really like his book.
I like The Power of
Now.
Yes. And practicing,
one of the best book in the world.
Practicing Power of Now. It's really transformative book
and non-religious as well.
Completely.
Spiritual but non-religious.
Yes, completely non-religious. In fact, Louise Hay, no doubt.
Louise Hay. I also like her book.
Late Louise Hay.
Yes.
She is just the power of healing within you.
Yes. You can heal your life.
You can heal your life, and those affirmations.
Affirmations are so wonderful.
I mean, I would say that I believe before Louise Hay, this work was not done.
I think so. She's a mother of New Age spirituality, exactly.
I was dumbfounded seeing the therapeutic part of her. When I read the book, was introduced to me, it's like each part, whatever she has said, she has found the disease and then the disease and then affirmations.
Yes, antidote to that.
And then she has given the key for that. That when you do, there's a remedy for that. And metaphysical facts of it.
And then she successfully healed herself from, I think, a few types of cancer.
She lived 51 years after the cancer.
They say if there's anyone on this earth who is very close to a sage, that would be her, they say.
Exactly.
I really like her and I really admire her.
And not only to the people, but also even the business or corporate world she was consulting.
Correct.
And there are many such conditions where she has advised and people have overcome from the problem. So look at how it works dramatically to manage everything around you. Not only your mind, not only you, but everything.
Yes.
So that's very, very, a key point here, that loving self or managing self or managing within is the key towards all types of those agony, which later connect with the heart problems.
Yeah. Another author I would like to recommend or suggest is Wayne Dyer.
Wayne Dyer,
Wayne Dyer is really also a wonderful example.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we mentioned 3: Dalai Lama, Louise Hay,
and Wayne Dyer.
Eckhart Tolle. Wayne Dyer, I think 4 is enough. So today, this episode, we encourage people to go for reading. So reading is when you read something, you're totally immersed in that world.
Yes.
And then you can heal yourself from that world. Yeah.
It is the first step, Shrub, to change ourselves, to start following somebody whom you like to follow for your betterment.
Some figure,
some figure. So
best is lively one. If not, then you have a religious deity or icon. Then you can follow whether you call it God or goddess or universe, whatever.
Exactly.
Right? Or Buddha or whatever.
Definitely.
But I think best is a lively one. They are there to show us the path. And we can listen to their video, their audio, and in YouTube and everything. And can read their books.
Yes.
Lively examples.
Exactly. Definitely. Coming back to some of the points in homeopathy, that what we manage when we prescribe for the heart patients, and what is the scope and limitations. So any emergency, definitely we will not touch, and we will refer to the medical doctors where the patient's life is concerned. Or
what do you mean by emergency? Like what conditions?
Like suddenly,
consider emergency?
Like the pain, like angina or the cardiac pains.
Pain at the left chest there.
At the left chest, and also it is accompanied by the numbness. And also the sweat and breathlessness, and feeling of anxiety, or what we say, ghabra.
But sometimes we can, misjudge between anxiety and heart attack, right? Because those who have anxiety, they always think that they are having heart attack, but actually it's not, right? Am I right?
Exactly.
Okay. So how to differentiate between these two?
Okay. When you are having the cardiac problem or acute myocardial infarct, what we say heart attack, in such conditions, mostly we find the patient is suffering with a very typical symptoms, or we say cardinal symptoms, where one thing that physically you find that there is a pressing pain on your chest. More towards the left side. Pressing pain as if like been stabbed.
Very painful
condition. And that pain will also radiate towards the left arm up to your fingers.
Extending,
radiating. And then it can also involve the numbness into the peripheral parts like your arms and also on your leg.
Left side.
Or left side completely, So such situation, then extreme sweating. Patient is very tired. Probably can't stand and can't walk as well. So such symptoms, and then the palpitations. Pulse will be very high. He can hear his heart is palpitating faster. Right? Such symptoms are most commonly we find when we have a cardiac issues. It can be also sometimes certain gastric disorders. Where you do find similar type of sensations happen. The chest tightness. Rather than the stabbing sensations, you have chest tightness. And you are gasping because you want to breathe more deeper. And suddenly you burp, and then you relax everything. But mind you, when you burp, cardiac symptoms will not relieved. Right? You may feel a bit of restlessness has gone, but the cardiac symptoms, the pain intensity, magnitude of pain.
So it's a purely physical kind of thing, not the mental, not the so psychosomatic, right? It's more on the physical symptoms.
These are the physical
real
symptoms.
Issues,
Yes.
So then we recommend to the clinic or the hospital.
Mental issue, I can tell you one thing, the patients are always fearful. Whenever such symptoms happen, the fear envelop the everything. And that's where we're getting more and more. We have no control over the disease condition or the intensity and magnitude of the disease. Because you have just thought of that it may happen, less person may get more severe or may die or something.
So fear is the main issue here. Can we say that those who have a heart problem, normally they have fear issues in their life that they need to heal?
Okay.
Can we say that? Is it a pattern of heart issues patient? They have a fear issue in their self.
It is not 100% right to say, because when the situation arises, like for example, a person has committed accident, right? So during that accident phase, he has created a lot of fear inside.
Trauma.
Yeah, right. And so that fear has created the trauma. So that's the situation happen, that when you are unknown, actually the fear is nothing but the unknown, right? So unknown fact is here, I am not aware of whether I am suffering with a cardiac problem or the gastric problem.
Okay.
And what is the next? Am I going to live the life, or I'm going to survive with some other type of abnormalities after this episode?
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So these all the ambiguities which always happen into the patient's mental state when he is not peaceful or not being practiced how to be calm, how to be in the crisis.
Yeah.
In a crisis. So another point here now coming about the breathing, which takes a very important role in shortening out, or in this type of shortcomings when we have the crisis, how you overcome yourself, how your mind can be calm, so that you
free
may
from fear, and your breath, you control your breath.
Yes.
Like prana yoga, so that you can control your mind as well.
Yes.
You control your prana.
Yes.
So.
And that's where you will think what next to be done. And you will be calm, and you may have a time to call the ambulance and go to the hospital.
So during this kind of emergency, would you recommend that they do deep breathing, the patient?
Yes.
Yeah. So while they're in fear, try to
relax themselves. Breathe more air, so then the
slowly
circulation will start.
Exhale,
Yes.
And so first thing you do, to relax yourself, deep breathing, slow breathe out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good that if they practice
regular basis,
prana yoga, meditation, breath meditation, when they are free.
Actually, this is something called habitualize your body and mind
towards the fear response,
or towards any such type of responses, uncertain,
and then go back to your breathing.
Yes,
go back to your center of your heart, aware of your breath.
Exactly. So when we are doing these things regularly, so then we don't need to alarm. Body is accustomed, mind is accustomed, the sensation comes, of the crisis comes, and it immediately automatic sensor tuned to that pattern.
Okay.
Right?
So I think that's also what Eckhart Tolle said, that you stay in the now.
In the nowness. Exactly. The power
present
of now.
moment awareness.
Yes. That is very important point.
Then you can have make good decision on what to do next. What is next action that you need to have? Your mind become clear.
Yes.
Mentally relaxed. And physically you can be decisive and clear.
More precise, So when we will do such type of conditions, we are very clear and very calm, and we can just call to the doctors and we can attend the proper treatment. Sometimes delay can cause you unnecessary outcomes.
During this kind of emergency, what can homeopathy do? Like, can you give Phos to to calm down the patient?
Phos is one of the medicine can be given.
How fast the Phos can work actually?
It immediate effect.
It
does. It does, because psychologically you have taken something.
So immediately.
It disconnects the fear continuation. Because
it put a break on the chain.
Yes, the moment you hit that, no matter whatever, that's how the placebo work. That something you have given that acts on, and in fact Phos is one of the medicine which works on it. We have aconite naples. That is also one of very great fear medicine. Mental and the symptoms are very violent in the sense that when the cardiac pain comes, the patient can't tolerate. That's why we have to call ambulance. So when giving the aconite, especially in 200 potency, so we find that you have a time, at least the golden time frame, to call the ambulance. Even though after 5 minutes if he is fine, ambulance can go back, no problem. But we must call the ambulance.
Okay.
Because if you can't manage the severity, you have a second choice to go to the hospital within time to manage the CCU and ICU condition. Right? Because severity you can't judge by just seeing the face. Severity is something which is more severe pathological condition happening inside.
Yes, the real issue of it.
Yeah. So how bad the block is, how those things can be managed within. Right? And some medicines we always, as a heart tonic we give to patient. So then if they are in their lifestyle very awkward or they are very imbalanced and they have a fear of family history of having heart attacks and high blood pressures, so we prescribe those cardiac medicines, cardiac tonics, and they will continue taking, so they are preventing themselves to be encountering that type of situations. And happily they are living, and slowly we will taper down. We just give them medicine like maintaining dose, and like one of the medicine called Crataegus. Crataegus is one of the plant from North America, and very well said. It's a herb, very well homeopathically prepared. And the doctors who have written about this Crataegus is that it can opens the block arteries. And who is writing is Dr. William Borick. His Metra Medica is one of the famous book for our BHMS or homeopathic students, in a textbook, and is a clinical Metra Medica, where he has stated very, very important symptom of this Crataegus medicine. And he himself was an MD allopath, and and he has used this medicine, and then after that he has written his outcome. So such type of effectiveness or efficacy we can see in homeopathic medicine while treating cases of cardiac cases. Right. And as like I mentioned about aconite is a very first aid type of medicine. Acute. First aid acute medicine. And in first aid you always find the patient has a fear component, which is well marked in aconite. Right? So when you give the fear component is reduced, automatically anxiety is settled down, and then the patient has a more better condition. Sweating may be released, and all the pathophysiology will get more better. Right? And moving further, sometimes we have very systemic issues like certain problems being diagnosed, but doctors do not do the operations, or they have already put the stent already in 3 arteries were blocked. They have already did the ballooning, angioplasty, and now they don't want to do anything because of maybe age factor or because of maybe some other things. So in those cases we have very good therapeutics of homeopathy, where we try to prescribe them those medicines to sustain the health properly. And sometimes the heart condition which is not sustaining or not strengthening, it is deteriorating, it is getting more and more weaker. So to sustain that also we prescribe some medicine. So the heart muscles or the internal electricity of the heart, all those things will be, or the valvular complaints of the heart, all these things will be better. So these are something like maintaining the health,
well-being of the heart.
Yes. So then you won't ending up such type of crisis.
How much is the success rate of homeopathy in treating heart diseases?
Right. In our control, in our scope, it can be 70%, 60 to 70% that
totally,
you can
completely cure. No relapse, no coming back again.
Again, this problem is again very subjective. In terms of we have 3 types of treatment, where the curative treatment, where we have supportive treatment, and we have palliative treatment. So in palliative and curative, there are chances that we can reduce or we can avoid relapse. But in supportive treatment, patient has to take an allopathic drugs together with the homeopathic medicine.
You suggest
why?
that.
Why he's taking both together? Nothing, only simple reason. Whatever he's taking from the allopathy, he's still not improving. Like one example I give, that doctor has after the ballooning, doctor has given medicines and asked the patient to continue. So certain time period, they found after certain time period, they found that the heart complaints are as it is. It has not improved.
Oh, okay.
Even though they are giving the 8 types of tablets and something called ejection fraction.
Okay.
And in 2D echo, when they do, they find that it's still very low. It's supposed to be, after doing the ballooning and all those things, it's supposed to be better because that will justify how the heart is pumping.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if heart is pumping fully and then opening fully, and again constriction, again relaxation, means the amount of cardiac output, the blood which is going out, pumped, and that will regenerate your whole organs and whole body will have. But that is not happening. And so that will be calculated by the ejection fraction.
Okay.
Right? So when these symptoms are not getting better and patient is already on the medicine, so then what should be the answer? And medical doctors are still they are thinking that what next to be done. I think we are doing better. They may change the medicine, but patient condition is getting worse and worse. Okay. The medical medicines, the allopathic drugs, they also need to focus that when they are taking in, they have to find the way to take it out also.
There's a residues.
Otherwise it will have a negative effect on it. So most of the time they will be taking care of your kidney
and liver
the liver.
Okay.
So they will give you some medicines like a Lasix, which will start clearing off all those. Because if your body will have a less blood or less blood circulation, slowly your organs are getting more and more numb. They are not functioning, they are malfunctioning. When organs start malfunctioning, the body cannot excrete it out, the things which is not required to the body. All things will dump up. So then you find the body is getting bloating or having so all these things,
the side effects will come
effects. Yeah. So they want this to be cleared up by the drugs. So that's where they will.
So they use another drug to clear the residue of the previous drug.
Exactly. So all this process,
double issues, right?
Double issue, and your body become more artificial.
It's like a war zone.
Yeah. Right. So in this artificial makeup, if your body
not so intelligent, not artificially intelligent,
not intelligent. Yeah. So afterwards, you find that after a certain time period, the body get tired of it. Tired of doing this cleaning every day. You eat and then you clean, you eat and then
it's like a machine,
It's like a machine, robotic machine. So
mechanistic.
So when we start,
and you get fed up and you say, "I'm going to quit now."
Exactly that's what happens to the people. Either you quit or they will quit you by your own. So when we start the medicine, we try to enhance and try to manage the health of the heart, health of the organ, not to damage the health of the organ. Our scope is that. And of course we'll check that the other parameters at the same time supposed to be in control. It's not that I'm focusing on the heart and then you are getting the stroke or you are getting the other problems and all. So we try to manage holistically. But our approach is to strengthen the heart rather than reducing the heart strength. And then later we have another side effects of those things. Right? So that's where it try to increases the ejection fraction. That's where it tries to increase the blood circulation, strengthening the electricity of the muscles. And we find the patient feels much better because he is not taking so much of drugs and all.
Okay.
So there are chances. Out of 10, 6 or 7 patients, definitely they can take. We do go along with that. Sometimes the patients are taking the what we say the blood thinners, and they've been asked to take blood thinners whole life. They are taking the cholesterol medicine. They've been asked to take a whole life. They are taking the blood pressure medicine. They've been asked to take whole life. And if there is a complications of edematous swelling or maybe any type of ascites or fluid retentions, they will be given the furosemide, or we have the Lasix and all those medicines. Diuretics been given, and on top of that, if you find that your heart is weak, then they will give something else to strengthen the heart, or maybe the Plavix and all the such type of drugs. These are very common prescriptions medical doctors have given.
Or symptomatic relief, not cure.
Not cure. According to them, there is no cure.
What a funny view.
And if we talk about
no paradigm shift. The paradigm is no cure.
No cure. Yeah. According to their understanding, there's nothing. But what we do that if we find the patient is too old, we will not remove the medicines. And even in young patients also, 100% we don't remove immediately. We go along.
Gradually, huh?
Gradually. Step by step, we tap it down and we see that what is the situation happening to them. Right? And we do take care of their investigations, their cardiac markers, and also the 2D echo and all. Time to time, ECG or stress test or 2D echo, whatever is recommended, we will do. And we see that how is the health improving towards the cardiac conditions.
True.
So that's the way how we manage. So this is something about the homeopathic scope. Of course, patients are not coming to us in a stage where such severe condition happen, like I mentioned about cardiac arrhythmias or the myocardial infarct or heart attack in a layman term. But we may get a call sometimes when the patient has a pain and suddenly the call comes, doctor, I'm feeling with discomfort in my chest. What should I do? Could you just give me some medicine? Because it's now already 12 o'clock, I can't go out. So, and you are my neighbor. So, so in that situation, I need to assess. Patient is calling me, talking to me. It means patient is already having a stabilized condition. He is stabilized in his health because his brain is working to call me. Right? But the patient, sometimes you find the situations where the so agonizing pain, they won't move from the bed. That situation, maybe the wife or the other subordinate has understood the condition and patient is on the bed. That's the case where you have to first call the ambulance than me. Right? So this is the limitation and scope I'm talking about. When patient himself is calling me and talking to me and he said, I feel discomfort, but even I can drive to your clinic.
Okay, right?
Yeah. So if he can drive to my clinic, means he doesn't nothing called urgent.
Not that urgent, yeah.
Yeah. So that is the simple understanding of what homeopathy manage and what homeopathy can't manage.
Okay.
Right?
That's very clear.
Yeah. And in both the cases, even we will do the investigations. Even the patient came to my clinic by walk or by driving, I will still ask him, later you better go and get it done. These are the investigations required.
By your assessment, Rosuka, what type of personality does normally heart patient has? Yeah. What kind of personality they have?
Okay.
Is it easily angry one or fearful one or
certain times we notice that if they are really managing so many activities at one go. Because it's a corporate culture, multitasking, and you've been promoted and appreciated when you are multitasking. So one person is managing 5 departments. Right? Multitasking.
A lot of things in their mind.
Yeah. So in corporate, you are very structured. So you have one file for HR, you have one file for finance, you have one file for this, and you have one assistant for this, each of these things, right?
Yeah.
So you delegate the task and you disseminate the task and you manage it.
Yeah.
But this habit which you have developed, it won't only at the corporate table.
Yeah.
When you back to the home, you have 5 tasks again. So you are eating, you are calling, you are watching, and then
watching, reading, listening.
So what will happen in between? Somebody ring on the bell, you also go there and open the door. Yeah. So you see that the habit,
restless.
Yes, it makes you very hasty, very restless. You are not
always
enjoying.
Need to be preoccupied with something.
Yeah, you are not enjoying any of the act what you are committing. You are just robotic in your act.
It also do.
Exactly.
Never try to be yourself. Be at ease.
Yeah.
Be comfortable.
That's where the mindfulness works very strong in such type of personalities.
Yeah.
If they're really willing to change, not the cardiologist, not the homeopathist, but the mindfulness. Which makes you back again to the Eckhart Tolle words, that power of now.
That's what Eckhart Tolle called awareness.
Awareness of self.
And your body, your sensation, your thoughts, your feelings and emotions.
So this is something which is very interesting, and I believe that it turns to the another topic as well.
Mental health.
I think we will sometime talk about mindfulness too.
Sure. Maybe next episode we'll talk about that.
And so Shrab, any other things you'd like to tell our audience before we wind up this session?
I think part of heart is art. Try to do some artistic thing.
Perfect.
Go for drawing, any hobby related to art. Do
Very
some artistic
true.
thing.
Very
Then
true.
half of your heart problem will be solved. I think.
Exact-
Art is art.
Heart is art. Very nicely said.
Don't have heart attack, but art attack.
Heart attack. Very
Heart
nice.
attack will cure your heart attack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very nice saying, huh?
Thanks.
So I believe the audience have learned today some parts or some tips
Yeah,
what
we
we
also
have given.
introduced some good authors that their books that you can
Yeah,
read too.
I
like,
believe
Eka
100%.
Tule, who else?
Yes.
Dalai Lama.
Yeah, Louise Hay.
Louise Hay,
Yeah.
Wayne Dyer. Yeah.
Wayne Dyer,
Please
yeah.
read their books to
Yeah.
heal your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with these words, Shrab, thank you so much
Sure,
for
thank you,
joining us here
Sugar.
today.
Yes, thank you,
And
everybody.
in next episode, we will definitely talk more details and
About
more
mind.
things about mind. Definitely.
Mind and mental issues.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.